Do you find it hard to like bring that energy to your stream, even though like your schedule is obviously so busy that there must be some streams where you're like, guys, I'm like, today I'm just done. Honestly, like I can't do it today.
That's another thing that I have kind of had to start learning is management of energy, because even if you want to stream all the time, every day, you know, to see chat, to make them happy, etc. At the end of the day, I only have so much energy, and chat's not going to have fun because they can tell when I'm low energy. Like I said, I've seen paragraphs analyzing every single facet of my personality. They can tell when you're low energy. That's the truth. So sometimes it's worth it to, you know, give yourself a little more breathing room. Occasionally, though, I get a little ahead of myself. Schedule too many streams, it'd be like that. And it's taking quite a toll on my energy, in that after I'm done streaming, I just go lay down. And that's the only thing I do besides streaming and making music is sleeping. So it's something.
How much sleep do you get per day?
6 hours a night. Which is not terrible, but it's not perfect.
I think you need a little bit more than that.
Yeah, so I'm trying to work on that a little bit. But there's just a lot to do, and there's a lot that you have to put your energy into. And when it comes to music, one thing that I've noticed is that it takes a little less energy for me simply because there's no pressure about making mistakes on stream. You know, in your work process, nobody really sees all the awful mistakes that you make when you're recording 100 takes over and over again. You put it together, and the song that you've made is hopefully, if you've done it right, the best possible thing that you could have made it be, right? With streaming, it's just go. Be good at improv, be good at games, be good at something.
Be perfect for the next 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. And just pray. And that takes a lot of energy out of you. You know, there's a lot of stress that comes with that, that maybe you can be really good at hiding. Maybe you're not so good at hiding it. It just depends, man. And it's rough. I
feel like you got to learn it along the way as well, because no one's ever prepared to be like, okay, I'm going to stream even though like I'm like low energy. And sometimes you have to like just force it out of you, and it's just it's so difficult, because that's why I don't stream so often as well, because I also have like a certain amount of energy, and if it's like below that, then it's just not going to be a good stream.
I think that a lot of the time, though, when you feel rough or you don't feel like you've got the energy for a stream, more often than not, when you actually start and get into it, you kind of get into the rhythm of it. And you kind of get a lot more energy as you go.
It also depends on what you're doing. There are some streams where you're just like, I'm having a good time playing this, or I'm having a good time doing this activity. And there are some streams where you're just like, this isn't an okay time, and I have to make it seem like it's a lot more fun than just an okay time. Right?
I mean, I do got to admit, I think I barely scraped by in terms of the personality you need to stream, because not everyone can stream. You have to have a certain kind of personality. I don't know if you guys know this, but I've seen a couple quote unquote reliable scientific research papers or whatever. Somebody said something on the internet and I took it as fact, but this is, I believe it.
There's some big egg quotations on that.
I can understand this being true, so you know, I'm not stating this as a fact, but I don't think the human brain was meant to deal with 10,000 or so people watching you all at one time.
100%.
What you're doing.
100%.
Humans weren't built
100%.
to do that. We weren't built for it. Now, technically, I'm not a human, but listen, I have a human body. I have a human body, so we're going.
Throw out the research paper.
Exactly. But we really aren't meant to. So you have to have a certain kind of personality to not mentally collapse.
What is that personality? Is it just
you have to have a little bit of an ego. You have to have
Yeah.
just a smidge. It just needs to be a little bit. It needs to be enough, you know, because not everyone can do it. That's just the truth. You have to have a certain kind of personality. You can't brute force it. And that's fine. That is absolutely okay. But it's just kind of how it is. You can build it up yourself, but it is a prerequisite.
Do you see yourself doing the streaming for a much longer time? Or do you think there's like a certain amount of time where you're just like, yeah, I'm probably going to try something different after a certain amount of time?
Right, like a time limit on this. It does take more energy for me than some other folks, I think. And with that being said, I think that I'd like to try it out and continue on for a longer time. However, the frequency with which I do it may change at some point, because...
Yeah, I mean...
I'll be thoroughly impressed if you can keep this up for the next year.
Have you heard about this thing? It's called weekends. It's where most people like holidays as well.
The fabled holiday. I've heard of that before. Yeah, but in a sense, these days I kind of find myself sitting down after a stream being like, all right, break time, watch something on Netflix. And I think to myself, I want to do something work-related. And that's when you know you've become a workaholic and
you've got the illness.
So it's good, but I often found the struggle where I would sometimes invest too heavily in work, and then I would think, oh, I just haven't hung out with anyone in a long time. And I feel kind of lonely. But then I've spent too much time working and I can't hang out with people because they're hanging out with people who are more consistent than hanging out, which is totally fair, right?
What do you mean?
Well, because if you're often not available, people don't invite you to things, right? So if everyone knows that you're not going to turn up to stuff most of the time, people stop inviting you.
They give up.
So you kind of have to balance very carefully and like going to stuff, but also wanting to be there for work. Because I also feel the same way with streaming, where I'm like, oh, I'm not there enough. I'm not participating in the ecosystem enough. You know, so it's a struggle. Do you ever have that problem?
All the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, recently I've been trying to fix that by instead reaching out to people that I haven't talked to and being
that's
hey, I'm
yeah,
here.
that's my
Yeah.
workaround. It's like because like people have, if I get to the point where people stop inviting me because I get too busy,
Yeah.
get your brain. I stop.
Yeah, I do. I have to
I'll make my own
I'll
events.
make my own events.
I'll be like, I don't. And now I'm like, all I want to do is work, but I'll schedule something in like 2 weeks because I'm like, it's not right now. It's not right now. It's not work right now.
Yeah.
Then it comes around, I'm like, fuck, I want to work, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm glad I scheduled that because now I can actually force myself to go and have a good time and not think about doing work.
I feel like moving has helped you as well because I remember before you never invite people to your place at all because
It was a mess.
Yeah, it was a mess.
Well, PewDiePie roasted me. It was terrible.
Wow.
Yeah,
And it
but
was also
now
too
you're in
far.
a more central place, so it's easier to just like invite people and sort out your own
because
things.
you know when I lived like an hour away, like a minimum of an hour journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
An hour is a long time to lose in a day when I try and make every goddamn hour count.
Yeah.
So when 2 hours goes there and back, right? You know, now it's a lot quicker for me, which is great for most places. But yeah, I would spend so much time traveling, and I'm not the kind of person who can work on a train. I don't know about you.
Well,
think you can,
definitely,
right? Yeah, I
definitely
can.
not Tokyo trains.
Yeah, you know,
know.
if I'm standing, there's absolutely no way I can do any work. And
Yeah.
sometimes,
I figured out a way.
do you get this thing though? Sometimes,
How? What work do you do on a train?
Well, I can answer emails. I can
Okay,
work on
okay.
scripts because you
True.
can do it all on
Okay.
your phone.
Fuck
So-
off! Can
so-
you work on scripts on the train, Joey?
I do that.
so,
I do that.
do you ever have, right? I don't know if this is another thing or this is just a me thing, right? I have these things, right? It's an email, but it's an email that I need to sit down and look at.
Yeah.
Like it's a focus email.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't do it when I'm standing. I got to sit down and be
No.
like,
100%.
Yeah.
I don't have that.
don't. I'm envious of you.
I have that. Like I can't answer important emails on my phone. I need to like sit down on a laptop or a computer
It
or
feels
something.
so much nicer
Yeah,
on a computer. I have the big screen so I can think about my words on a bigger resolution. I don't know
Yeah.
why that matters.
Do you activate different neurons
I
when you
think
sit
so.
down? Like,
Callie, back me up here. Do you do
I
this?
mean, I agree actually entirely, especially when it
Hell
comes to
yeah.
music. Though sometimes I'll be like on a plane, on a train, I get my phone out, I'm like, I'm ready to work. And I'm like, nope, time for a nap. And I just put my phone
People
away.
who
I'll
work
get
on
home.
planes are like, just like what happened in their childhood?
I know. I can work. I can work on planes.
What happened in your childhood?
I can work on
That's
planes.
fucked up.
Working on a plane is different than working on a train. Okay. With a
No, man.
with
You
with a
work on
train.
yeah.
You're like this in the fucking cabin. There's people next to you. Like they bring the food over. You're like, oh shit, the fucking laptop.
Because on a plane you are.
No, I do it on my phone.
No, you don't work on your phone, Joey. You need a fucking laptop or at least a tablet, a phone.
you can't
That's
work
pretty
on a
rough.
plane, right?
No, I mean, what
God.
happens is I think I'm going to, so I bring
Three
my
levels of
laptop,
Yeah, I do
psychopaths.
that.
I bring it in the carry-on and I put it on the table and I'm ready to work. And then suddenly, someone comes with a glass of Chardonnay and they're like, "Here you go." I'm like, "All right, well, I got to find a freaking place for this." Then I turn on the thing and I'm looking at the map and I'm like, "I wonder what movies they have."
Yeah.
And suddenly I'm looking at the movies. Holy shit, they have this one I wanted to watch.
If I was in like first class of business, I had the whole fucking thing set up. Yeah, okay, maybe we can talk about working. When I'm in economy, I'm just depressed. I don't want to think about work. I want to watch whatever Jason Statham movie is on this plane.
No, I'm depressed because there's no good movies on. It's always shit movies, which
plain
I hate.
movies.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
sometimes
plain
you-
movies. So
sometimes you
if
roll
I'm going
in.
to be in a bad mood, I might as well be in a bad mood and do some work. That's my.
That's exactly like why like I hate like watching movies on a plane because for one they're all movies I don't want to watch. So I'm like, well,
Yeah.
what is there to do? I'm not just gonna like fucking blankly stare out the window. For
Yeah,
just
yeah,
7
exactly.
hours.
I just
Take a nap.
sleep. I don't know. Yeah, I just
Little
sleep.
nap.
No,
Well,
okay. When I say I
when
work
I
on a
can
plane,
sleep,
yeah.
when I can
say I
sleep.
work on a plane, I'm not working
Yeah.
the whole fucking trip.
Yeah.
Jerry's like making calls. Sell my stock, god damn it.
Haven't seen my kids in 3 days. Okay, if I'm like flying from Tokyo to LA, right? It's like what 10, 11-hour flight. I'm probably working max like 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, same.
The rest of the time, I'm like reading a book or like taking a nap or watching a movie, God forbid.
Yeah.
Like doing something else basically. Like I'm not that much of a fucking machine where I'm like 11 hours on this flight. All right, 11 full hours of work. Like
Mudan is the only guy.
yeah, Mudan's like
the final stage.
He brings his desktop on the plane.
no,
That is powerful.
no, Mudan's the type of guy who's like, oh, you need a video edited? Let me whip out my phone real quick.
Oh my god, he's done that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's done that before.
Powerful.
Has he actually?
He's used the remote control on his phone to edit on his PC.
Yeah, it's just like a virtual.
That's what I'm saying. This guy's plugged into the Matrix.
Yeah, he
this
is.
is it. This is when you reach your final form.
Yeah.
This is the final evolution of like humans, you know. No, but like, how'd you script on your phone? Like, especially if you're standing up, right, in a crowded train. It's impossible for me to get the right mindset. Let alone, I can't get like a single thought together.
So if I'm in like a crowded train, I'm not writing script. I'm like doing like the research for the script. Because it's easy enough to just, because you're already on your phone on a crowded train, right? Like looking at Twitter or whatever. So what's the difference between looking at Twitter and looking at like a web page or, or like an anime news site or something?
Philip DeFranco. I'm just like,
yeah, or like a YouTube video, right? Like it's the same motion, but like I'm not there fucking typing it out on a crowded train. Obviously not. Like if I'm sitting down on a train, sure I can fucking whip it out and start typing some shit in, but I don't know.
I wish I had that power, man.
I mean, if you did that, you'd probably be able to upload every week.
Maybe that's what's missing.
I don't think it's that. It's much as he wishes.
Oh, shots fired.
I mean, do you find like you have to be in a certain environment when you write your music? Or is it just like whenever inspiration hits?
That's a good question. To be completely honest, I can't force it. I just can't. Sometimes I'm in the mood to write this song, sometimes I'm not. And if I force it, then the lyrics are going to turn out real bad. So I just have to be really mindful of when I'm feeling that inspiration, though. It does get a bit stronger as the deadline creeps up. It's not procrastination, I promise. It's just...
That's what they all say.
That's what they all say. Yeah,
I feel though making music is a completely different part of your brain that doesn't overlap with any other type of activity.
Definitely.
Yeah. Like I couldn't write music on a plane or anywhere that's not my room even when I'm in my room, I need to be as Callie said, I need to be in like a specific mood.
That's
or,
me
like,
in
specific
scripting.
mindset.
Like I need to be in like a specific mood. I can do like admin stuff on my phone and shit like that, but like scripting's like sacred.
Well, that's probably why your scripting is way better than mine.
It sounds like you have that with everything though, Garn. Sounds like you have to be in the mood to shit as well.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with being in the mood to shit.
This man, everything needs to be in a monk-like Zen mode to get anything done. We're like, Garn, can you order some food now? It's not the time.
I need to be in the right mindset
Yeah, I
to
need to be
open
in
up
the-
Uber Eats.
I need to be in
I just get
mindset.
distracted too easily.
You do.
sometimes.
You
Yeah.
Yeah. Genius takes a while. Yeah. If you actually open the fucking app.
That's why I need like the certain apps that I'm comfortable with. I want to stay on those apps. Don't give me anything new. TikTok scares me. Okay. Yes, I'm a boomer. Okay. Say it.
No, it's okay, Garn. You're gonna age way better than me. It's fine. I'm just jealous. Secretly.
He has the upper hand now.
How does it feel looking at Chris and being like, I'm going to be that in 5-10 years?
That's brutal. To Chris.
They don't stop.
We all know it's true though. Come on, we all know it's true.
Chris looks
Sorry,
good.
eh?
Chris looks good. Chris
Yeah.
great. Yeah, I'll be bald at Chris's age. Oh my god.